My illustrious companion here and I, Foxy Junior Edition, we're going on a ride to Grey Gums to meet some of the Foxies. The moment someone you love climbs on the back of your bike, everything changes. Not the bike, not the ride, you. Ride a motorcycle and eventually someone's going to say, "Hey, can you take me for a ride?" If you haven't done it before, you're hesitant. It's worse if it's a family member, someone you love. Suddenly, you're responsible for this person's safety, even more so than if you're driving a car. Here, you're out in the open, out in the elements. My first pillion was my kid, when he was about 9. I'd been riding for a few years, and he really wanted to join in the experience. I was super hesitant, scared, but he kept asking. So I put a helmet on him, my oversized jacket, and took him around the block, heart in my mouth the whole way. To my surprise, he did well. I was going super slow, but he did all the right things. And so we started riding together. I got him his own jacket, boots, helmet, gloves. We did some longer rides with friends, and we did some motor camping together. Eventually, he got his own dirt bike and now specialises in wheelies and riding fast. But we still ride together sometimes. He's 16 now, bigger than me, and you do feel that on a 24 horsepower Himalayan. It's rather special actually. I feel his hand pat my leg or his voice in my helmet. I know he's 16 and won't always want to sit on the back of my bike, so I cherish this time. But here's what no one tells you about pillioning someone you love, what took me completely by surprise. It changes how you ride. The first thing you notice is the weight. On a 24 horsepower bike, doubling the load is not nothing. The bike sits differently. It's lower, more planted. It takes more to get it moving and more to slow it down. The braking distance is longer than you think. The first few times, that surprises you. But you accept less power and braking as the ticket price you pay for riding with them. You change your riding style and move on. The corners. The corners demand more. A solo rider leans, commits, trusts. You're on your own and ultimately responsible for yourself. With a pillion though, you're responsible for this person. You need to be smoother. Any sudden input, a late brake, a quick flick, your passenger feels it immediately. They're not strapped in. They're just there, holding on, trusting you. And so you start reading the road differently, further ahead. You're anticipating, not reacting. The gap in traffic you'd thread alone, you leave it. Not because you couldn't make it, but because the calculus is different now. And the speed. I don't push into corners the same way with my son. I'm more hesitant. That's the word for it. I'm not afraid, I'm hesitant. There's a difference. And none of this feels like a limitation. It feels like a different kind of riding, more deliberate, more considered. Suddenly, instead of riding for just you, you're riding for two. Solo riding has a particular kind of freedom that's easy to mistake for something noble. You're accountable only to yourself. If you push too hard into a corner, if you take a risk that doesn't pay off, that's yours. You made the call, you wear the consequences. There's a clean loop to it, even if the ego is constrained within it. That loop breaks the moment someone climbs on behind you. It's not fear exactly. Fear would be simpler. This is something more structural, a fundamental shift in what the ride is for. You're no longer the only variable in the equation. Your decisions have consequences for someone else now. Someone who is entirely, completely dependent on the quality of your judgment. And if that someone is a person you love, a child, a partner, someone whose safety matters to you more than your own, the ego that usually drives those decisions quietly steps aside. It simply doesn't fit your riding anymore. The gap you'd thread alone, you leave it. Not from fear, but from a recalibration of what actually matters. A lesser version of riding? No. It's just honesty about what the ride is actually for. There's something that happens between two people on a motorcycle that doesn't happen anywhere else. The person on the back has no alternative but to trust you. They have no controls, no brake, no throttle, no steering. They can't intervene. They can't correct. All they can do is trust you completely, physically, in real time. And that trust isn't abstract. It's in their body, in the way they lean with you, in the way they relax into the corners once they know you've got them. You feel that as a rider. You feel the moment someone stops bracing and starts riding with you. With someone you love, that connection goes deeper because they know you. They've chosen to be here. They're not just trusting your skill, they're trusting you. And if they're heading towards riding themselves, watching everything, filing it away, they're learning something that no instructor on earth can teach. What it feels like to be carried well. What confidence in a rider is like from the back. That goes in. It shapes them. You're not giving them a lesson, you're giving them a reference point. Nobody tells you this when you start riding. The freedom, the independence, the solitude, that's the story. That's what gets sold. But somewhere in the process of carrying someone you love, something becomes clearer. The corners you don't push, the gaps you leave, the extra distance you keep, none of that is restriction. It's precision. It's knowing exactly what the rider's for. Solo, you can pretend the ride is about you, about the feeling, the escape, the ego lip, and maybe it is. But put someone you love on the back, and all of that falls away. What's left is just the road, the bike, and the fact that someone trusts you completely. That's not a lesser version of riding, it's just a different and a very joyful one.